Well, it's about time I figured out maybe how to just do something on here. Not sure. Let's see if this is going to work. I need to put a new skein of yarn on my big, huge monster loom. I'm going to try to get comfortable too. Maybe I will move it over here so you can see what I'm doing better. So, some of these say they're 6 yarn and some of them say 5 yarn. I don't really know because some of the 5 yarn don't look like it's even 5 yarn. So some of this I know is 6. This is double stranded. Um, well, anyway, I don't know. I thought somebody messaged, but whatever. So these were double stranded BK. It's probably the best constructed actually, and I hate working with 2 skeins of yarn. There's 2 skeins here. It was like the pink, but it was blue, and then I added another blue. Now these I know are 6s. This was a 6, but it didn't really seem like it. This said it was a 6, but I think it's roving, so that's why some of them are more lacy like. I did the same stitch. I mean, I do switch up, and I'm doing a really dense stitch, and I'm going to start it on this new. It says it's a 6, but I don't think it is. But I like the color, so we're going to see what happens, because this is just a scrap blanket for me anyway. Now, wish me luck that I find the end of the yarn tail. I'm still praying. Oh God, it's not gonna come out. And see, this is some wool yarn too. Sucks. Oh well, I got it. I found the end, but it's all tangled up and twisted. What the heck? What is going on? That is, what the hell they do? Tie it in there or something? Oh my goodness. I know I just had the end just 10 seconds ago. Oh no, I should have at least got the end out before I started this thing. Well, this is raw, unfiltered for sure live video. But this is really starting to tick me off now. I don't know. You know it's in there because this is single by itself here. Oh, but this yarn is so soft. And it's pretty easy, looks like, to get it untangled, but we shall see. I believe that is the end. Now I'm just going to put a slip knot on there. Then I'm going to tie these two together. I know most of you hate knots, but I don't like dropping stitches either. I dropped one on the side one time and it was on the edge, and yeah, it took a bit to try to weave it back up because I didn't notice it till I was several rows down. Now, on this, I'm doing basically just 2 U-wraps on each peg around. There is an easier way to do it. I think I saw this on Deborah Shaw's videos. If you've seen her, you should probably go right on over to her little link because I've learned a lot from her and other ones. Um, I like the new things that she's doing with like the purl over stitches. But I don't ever just like do just that stitch. I do a bunch. I get bored, and then I always go back to that. I think it's owl eye stitch until I decide what other one I'm gonna make because the owl eye stitch doesn't curl. That's what she calls going over twice. Because this way, if I move it back where you can actually see my stitches that I'm doing, maybe. I just have to go, that's going to go over there for that second wrap. And then, let me move this thing a little bit. Maybe now, if it's down further, you can see better. Of course, I'm live TV and got to figure this out. Live TV, live YouTube. I do have YouTube TV though. But it's like, that's the second one on that one. And they just, she shows you just going over that one too. And then that way you can go two, and then you roll up around and go two, all the way around. And like I said, I really like the stitch because it's easy and mindless. You know, not a lot of memory or anything with it, and it lays flat. I don't know how it's going to work with this supposedly 6 yarn that's got a wool content. I know it's at least 30% wool, and I love it. It's really soft and stuff, but I'm mixing with all this other. So you can probably say that I'm like wasting the wool because I'm mixing it with some of these acrylic ones or some of these other type of wool ones or materials. But like I said, I don't care. So I'm like, I'm gifting this. I'm not doing anything with that. It'll be a one and the only thing for me. Now, I do wish I had started making it on my other loom because the other loom was that big oval one, but it's a 5/8. This is a 3/4. And with this thin yarn that's supposed to be 6, the 5/8 probably would have been better. So I don't know. So anyway, I really doubt there's anybody out there watching this live. They got better things to do with their life, I'm sure, than sitting here watching some old lady try to figure out the camera and figure out the YouTube thing to even do a video. And I don't know. I spend a lot of time watching other people's YouTube videos so I can, learn from them. And that's what I want to start this for because some of the videos were very hard to understand. And I know mine are going to be because, like I said, mine are raw and unfiltered. I don't want to spend time trying to edit because these newfangled devices and I was in high school before the computer age, so it takes a lot of figuring out for me. And as far as editing, probably not going to worry about it. My husband says he could edit it for me, but I spent more time showing him how to do it than he knew to do it, so I don't think that's going to work either. Plus, yeah, the files were big and, happened to send them to him or whatever, so then he can edit it and do whatever. Because he tries to get on my computer and messes it up, so we can't be doing all that. Because he makes me paranoid that he's going to start messing with settings and stuff. Just like whenever he drives my car, something goes wrong with my car. So I get very nervous. He's got a Mac computer as well. It's not the Pro like mine, but it's still capable. But he's also a Galaxy phone user. I've switched to iPhone, and it makes it easier since they talk to each other. Now, with his Galaxy thing, it's just messed up, and he will never get rid of that Galaxy unless it completely becomes obsolete, like Blackberries did. He was really attached to Blackberries when we first had those too. Yes, I'm old, very, very old. I'm just in my 60s, so that's not a big deal. Better make sure you're not seeing my panties. And I don't think you wear because dresses are cooler right now this time of the year. We've been having storms and stuff, but oh man, the after effect and the mugginess. I mean, I'd like to sit on my porch and loom, but oh, it's just too hot, yucky out there. So that's all I'm doing is doing 2 units on each peg around. And then the next one I'm going to do units and a purl over on 1 peg on each peg around. And I'm hoping it'll make it a little tight. Well, yeah, tighter, but it's the same stitch I was doing. But we'll definitely be able to see for sure how different it looks with the thicker yarn versus the thinner yarn. Like I said, this says it's a 6, but no, not the 6 I'm used to anyway. So I'm going to shut up now. You're probably tired of hearing me gab, and I'm just going to get lost in a rabbit hole of getting around this huge thing. Well, anyway, I got 50 subscribers, so I finally was able to go live. So if you haven't, like my video just because I don't know. I don't plan on making anything off of this or whatever, but if someone has ideas of what they would like to be shown, I can make sure the camera's up closer and like send out a specific video for someone that's having a hard time with a particular stitch or whatever. I'd be glad to do that. And like I said, I crochet as well. But since I've had my stroke, crocheting's harder because it's just too much twisting with the wrist and stuff. And yeah. So, and I've done some Tunisian crocheting too, but it's kind of the same way. But I've made some really pretty Tunisian 10-stitch blankets, rugs, floor mats. But I just don't think that's going to be something I'll be able to do. My arm gets tired enough with looming, but it's at least the least problematic for me. Of course, now it's going to be tangled up, and I'm going to mess with it now again because I didn't undo it all from earlier. It got all tangled. Yep, it's definitely roving yarn because I can see the looms, not the looms, the layers, and how there's just one little piece of yarn there that's stuck together. Oh, just all twisted up. That's what that wool content yarn is. It's beautiful yarn. It's great, but I should have pulled from the outside, not the inside. That's one thing I definitely know I should do. But oh man, I just I don't like the ball flipping all over when you pull from the outside. But with the wool content, we probably really need to. This is a video about me untangling my yarn. I ain't showing you nothing. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, I need to quit playing on the computer and stuff anyways. Setting up videos right now and just get going on this and then do a video. And maybe I'll get one of my smaller projects and do a tutorial on something. But if there's anybody out there listening or listening on replay, send me a message of something that you would want me to try to help you with. Because I've done so many different I don't know. I know what interests me and where I've always had to look all over YouTube to try to find a video that would be helpful and I could see and understand. I'm trying to watch this to make sure, because one of my pet peeves is when you can never, or the loom or whatever is just completely out of frame completely. So I don't know. Another pet peeve is going on and on and on and on, like I'm doing. So now I understand why. Yep, I'm gonna have to pause this thing and stop it or something now, because I need to really get this straightened out so I can actually do some looming. See, done to that. Gonna mess it. So I'll talk to you later. Just let me know if there's something you want me to try and do.